Magic! Morning. Perfect timing. The moment I clicked go live, my heater went on. Exact same second. It cannot be more accurate. Good morning, dear people. Hi. Hope you're hearing me alright. Let me know if there's any problem. At least on my end, it all reads fine. I know it's not Chinese New Year yet, in case people are wondering. I see that in the chat. End of this month, very last day would be the very last day of Chinese New Year too. So this year happens to just runs into exact same time. So on the 31st would be Chinese New Year's Eve, and then February the 1st would be Chinese New Year, Year of the Tiger. So this is the couple of days earlier, but hey, who cares? Live stream that's titled Chinese New Year. Because I've been doing live streams every month or once, and I haven't done the January one yet. If I wait till February the 1st, that type of Chinese New Year day to do it, it will be a February live stream. See the dilemma? So I'll just, because 小年 already happened, which is Little New Year, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I don't remember. So we have like small Chinese New Year and big Chinese New Year. The big one hasn't happened yet, and the small one has already happened. So I'm still within the time frame of Chinese New Year. It's fine. It makes sense. So I'll just title this one as Chinese New Year. I got up at 6:30 to just dress up like this. And honestly, I think it doesn't look very good with the focal length. When I do live stream, I have a focal length that's not very tight, so tends to warp my face a little bit too much. My hair looks much bigger in reality. Now you just see my giant forehead, not my big hair. And if the focal length is like closer, then it will look better. But hey, can't do it with live stream, because if I pull it very tight, it will cut my head off. It's just a very complicated issue with where you position your camera, what's the focal length, and you have to look at the computer of chatting. Anyway, this is what I can do. So, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever that might be. This is the earlier than usual Chinese New Year live stream, but actually too late for January already. I feel very lazy somehow at the beginning of this year. I just don't want to do anything. Like I said last time, there was a calendar thing that I want to do, and I still haven't finished it. I just have no drive to do it. So I was like, yeah, fine. Just leave it until I feel like doing things. So let me read through. Happy Chinese New Year. So when February the 1st hit, that's the proper day to say it. But the Year of Tiger is coming. Hey, how many people love tigers? Let me know. Because it's the giant orange cat, the giant ginger cat, right? The coolest feline. I mean, I would say between a tiger and a snow leopard, is that? Like, I can't decide which one is the perfect cat, big cat, but they're very close. How am I going to celebrate? How are you? I'm good. I love tigers, yeah. Who doesn't love them? They're so pretty. Oh. How am I gonna celebrate? Nothing. Like, what can you do? Everything is locked down. It's like you can't go anywhere. So you're just stuck at home. You know. It's like the third year, right? The third winter, the third January that we've had since 2020, 2021, now 2022. Pretty much it's still not a good idea to go out. avoid crowding people as much as possible. So I'll just be binging through dramas and I don't know, doing whatever. Black Panther and Tiger. Yeah, Black Panther are cool. The snowy one is so cool is because it has such a giant tail. I think it has the longest and fattest tail among all cats, proportionally speaking to their body, because they need to fly. Like they jump off huge cliff and they literally jump 10, 20 meters off a cliff. So they need that giant tail. It's just, oh, it looks, you just want to, I don't know. It's a bad idea to try to pet a giant cat, but you can't control that. You just want to touch. Can I rate Korean dramas too? Can I have 48 hours a day? If I can, I will do it. You know, sometimes you just have to make a choice. Time, energy. If I have 48 hours or if I have like double me, like 2 of me working at the same time, then I have the other one taking care of the international. Korean, Japanese, US, you know, whatever it is that's interesting, hot, and popular. I will love to. I haven't actually been able to watch a Korean or Japanese drama for a long time, just because I don't have time, which is sad. Because sometimes I do want to look at other country stuff that probably has less of censorship problem, but you have your different countries have their own censorship problems. I know there's a very contested Korean drama recently, hey, that got so boycotted within Korea. These type of things happen everywhere, and I know the rough story about it, but I haven't had time to even check it out. Tiger. Yeah, tiger should be left alone unless it's for protective, that kind of projects to save the species. Although some people do have, like in different countries, you probably have license to raise crazy huge animals. I think there are a couple of accounts actually on the internet that's really popular. Some people in Russia and then some other countries, they have panther, they have lions. And they make films, which is they make videos, which is just insane. Which drama? Yeah, I know the Chinese title of it. I don't know the English title. See, Chinese title is 3 characters. It's like snow drop flower, literal meaning. I don't know what is the Korean title or the English title. But if you watch Korean drama, you definitely don't know. That one has a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. Yeah. So today is Chinese. I'm just saying it's Chinese New Year special live stream because it runs into Chinese New Year very soon. But really, it doesn't have to be restricted on Chinese New Year. Just gonna chat about dramas as usual in general, and I will do giveaways like at some point during this live stream, and then I didn't put it in the title so that whoever clicks into this live stream, you know, it's just like secret gift. I'll just pick a person out of the chat history when the time comes. Okay, so I'll do a giveaway again for Chinese New Year. So if you're here, it's just 缘分. Yeah, it's like the red packet. I don't have an envelope. But the red envelope, you know, like red envelope for New Year, for giving money. Oh, snowdrop, yeah. I will also be wearing it, yeah. So that's the English name, cool. See, the problem with languages. At least it's close. Like the Chinese translation literally is snowdrop flower, so it's pretty close. My hair is much bigger in reality. The lens just flattens it so much. Oh my god. Did I finish Kaiduan? Come on, how can I not? The day I wake up, I know it's already aired in China. The first thing was like checking social media, see if there's like, you know, what happened at the end while I was still in bed. And then I definitely watched it. It's funny though, 2 dramas aired 2 consecutive year January, both produced by Zhengwu Yangguang, and it's like really good one, like the best of the year type of drama. Last year it was Shanhaiqing. It was January early. They aired it in the Minning town. That was the English name, Minninzhen, and then got changed into the Chinese title Shanhaiqing, the one with the poverty alleviation program drama with Huang Xuan and many other people. That one got a really high score. One of the highest scoring drama last year in China. That was January last year. That was Zhengwu Yangguang Daylight Entertainment. This year, again, middle of January, Daylight Entertainment. Reset. Probably would be very unlikely to have another similar theme type genre drama that will come out this year that will have the same kind of popularity. So, 赢麻了. which is one to the point that it got numb, which is Daylight Entertainment. Like you can trust it to just do above average standard work compared to current Chinese dramas. Like if you overall average out all the dramas that are there in Chinese dramaland, and it ends up being, you know, whatever, a number or a level of performance or quality. And Zhengwu Yangguang's starting line is like beyond that point. So professional company doing professional jobs. it just like it really just tramples all the other crappy stuff out there. Okay, let me look at a couple of stuff. Sad K-dramas aren't on YouTube. That's like the reverse thing about the advantage of have a Chinese firewall. Because if China doesn't have firewall, then that means they wouldn't put the dramas on YouTube. You see that weird thing? Because that means they would have it like just on their own, and the international people would also have to pay money to watch it. It's precisely because the firewall Chinese dramas upload on YouTube, and they get money by ad revenue. And if they get high click and high traffic rate, it still gets a lot of money than say not having any money. Interesting, isn't it? The two sides of everything. Does it affect celebration, what type of animal it is? No. In terms of Chinese New Year, it's the same way celebrating. It's just people would use different, for example, images, you know, when they put out, even like for TV programs, when they design those graphics, right, it will have the animal of that year. This year will be tiger. So mostly it's to do with the imagery and graphic that comes with all kinds of products, like if people sell those printed good fortune like characters you stick on the whatever window and a wall, and on the year of tiger there might be a tiger element. That's probably the only difference really. In terms of celebration itself, not really a huge difference at all. Yeah, so if people mind spoilers, just don't spoil it. It's the type of ending that's very Chinese, I have to say. But I appreciate it, actually. I think if you make it very, very, if you make it very Fight Club, basically, that type of ending, it's just not gonna be 正午阳光's doing. If you understand where that company comes from and what type of thing they do, and probably it won't pass censorship too. Like if you have the Fight Club-ish ending, where like just it's all very satirical. It's a lot of like crazy epic shit. Well, you can write it that way, but I doubt if you film it that way, it's ever gonna get aired. So. Goat panning, I haven't even, I know, it's just finished. Holy, it's too short. I'm just reading something. Some kind of black spear weapon. Black Spear Weapon 2009 wuxia. Wow, that's tough. That's a long time ago. 2009. That was before social media. Oh shit. Black Spear. Main character has kind of black spear weapon. 2009. Huh. 2009. Anyone can help out? I have watched 超越. It's good. Nobody's watching it. Very weird, but it's one of the really good sports drama. And it's so much better in terms of being realistic and then being meaningful about like the particular sports, short track skating, than say To Fly With You, right? Which is totally an idol drama. It just like barely scratches the surface. But the funny thing is, both are produced by the same company. It's Ningmeng. Ningmeng did both dramas. And it's really weird when you think about it, right? By the same production company doing two dramas kind of about the same thing and totally two different angles and airing back to back. It's like, I don't know what happens in their green light meeting. It's like, let's just do two dramas of the same thing. But then let's do it from different angles and see what? Like, what are you trying to do? Is that like a double blind test? It's really interesting why they did it. 超越 beyond. But if anybody is curious, I probably will make a video talking about it. It's much better, okay, than To Fly With You, basically. Reset is good. Yeah, Reset is probably the best drama we've seen this year in Chinese drama in January. Overall, okay. You consider its production quality, the uniqueness of the story, overall performance online, and if you just search how many hashtags are everywhere, like people talking about it, and how much content, self-created content, is related to this drama on all platforms, it's pretty easy to see. It tramples everything else, number-wise. Okay. But because it's a web drama, so it doesn't go on television, which means it's just like mostly it makes its presence online. Say your parents who do not go on internet to watch dramas, who still do remote and television, probably wouldn't know this. So, but online with younger audiences, this probably is the highest performing drama. Overall, you have to taking everything into consideration, right? Reputation, response, that type of thing. Hope World, thank you for saying my voice is pleasant to hear. It's nice to hear that. I hope it is. It works on some people, but it doesn't work on other people. It's mostly to do with how your brain is programmed, I think. Black Spear Weapon, maybe. Wallace Huo. MC. Wear mask. Oh, is that 一枝梅? 怪侠一枝梅? with 刘诗诗、马天宇、霍建华. Who else? Is that what? Does he use a black spear? I can't remember. I only remember like Tong Liya was his wife who died very early on in the drama. And then he had very similar to Yi Dao's hair in another drama, like basically messy and down. Whether it's a spear, I can't remember anymore. Maybe that is the one. Is it 2009? I can check. Immortality 杀破了. Who knows it? Like they can just come tomorrow, or they may just not show up at all this year, and everybody is just guessing. And I don't know how much behind the scene maneuvering the productions and platforms have to do to let those drama out, and how much they're gonna get cut to the point that it's allowed to be aired. Who knows? These things are crazy. Spring Festival gone. Oh my god. Ellen, you're saying you want me to review 春晚? They probably would only be renting, because it just keeps getting worse every year. Like aesthetics is terrible. Absolutely cringy 小品 performance, the comedy thing that's just like oh my god. It would be very hard to explain that, I think, to international audiences about why it is the way it is, and then what basically the whole thing. Because other countries do not have the exact same thing, and the particular type of show, and it's done for so many years, and how it started and why it all exists until today, and then all that is very specific to China, and it's just I mean, myself, sometimes when I look at 春晚, I'm just like feeling embarrassed too. It's like, that's just stupid. Who designed that program? Anyway, it's very, but we'll see. If this year we have like absolutely ridiculous performances, maybe. Like if I make a 20 minutes video, 15 minutes will be like dedicated to try to explain what is weird about it. that probably international audiences will not understand. It's too weird. Yes, I am following a chance meeting, right? Because of love chance meeting. 今生有你往后余生 李小冉 Wallace 钟汉良中年狗血 middle age dog blood, but it's so well produced dog blood. It's like the classic Asian drama land plot, all put in one. And when you think about it, it's so cliche. It's like absolute cliche. Every step and every character and everything is cliche. But you know, like there are different ways of doing that. Sometimes it can be absolutely ridiculous and embarrassing. Sometimes it could be, give me more. So the 钟汉良 李小冉 drama is the give me more version of that dog blood story. Sprinkle dog blood. It's so dog blood. And there's so many moments in the drama while I was watching, I was like, oh my god, this is just such old-fashioned Asian drama and crap. But oh my god, they look so good. Magic. Have you heard of a Better Lie Than a Truth? Haven't. Better Lie Than the Truth. No, haven't heard that one. I know right now there are a couple of, like, quite a lot of dramas ongoing. I just, like, I am already, like, I was juggling, like yesterday, right, or the day before, I was juggling between 开端, 今生有你, Chance Meeting, 超越 Beyond, 流光之城 is ongoing too, 沉睡花园 is ongoing, there's another drama that I had to watch. So I have like so many dramas, and then I know there are more. Oh my god, how am I supposed to watch all of them? It's a little bit too much. Oh, did also like Imperial Coroner, did they have the special one? I think the special one is already out. I caught the news like I remember I had impression of it, literally social media impression of it, but I haven't checked it, so I'm not sure if it's really out there. Like they made the special episode thing. Anybody? Maybe you're faster to catch it. It's just too many things. Okay. Any big melon? No, no, not yet. Like there's small melons going on, but it hasn't exploded. I don't know if it's ever going to, but hey. Right now, no big melon. I mean, it's Chinese New Year. Let the melon god have a bit rest. Maybe just leave it until the, you know, like the end of Chinese New Year. Let's just leave it until middle of February when Chinese New Year's gone, and then go back to the melon eating. Because right now, if any huge melon break out now, like now, all those like social media platforms, those accounts who runs on these things or whatever, people are gonna get so pissed. Because it's like, it's heading towards the biggest holiday of the year. And some people are already flying home, and they've already finished their job, and they're like on holiday, and they get a call. It's like, this actor and actress got this and whatever, and they're like, forget. I have to write people's gossips column while I'm on annual biggest New Year holiday. So whoever that star is gonna be, if their big melon break out during Chinese New Year, they're gonna get hated forever in Chinese history. So if those media initially would just, like if it wasn't for the time, those media would say X amount of things about this person, but if it happens during Chinese New Year, it would be like this much. It would be the worst thing. So I hope no melon happens, please. Please, it's Chinese New Year. People are already like in for the holiday. Just don't. It's bad. It's gonna be bad for everybody. Small melon. Just don't ask about the small melon. I've been keeping an eye on a small melon, but it hasn't really gotten anywhere. It could totally just be irrelevant. If it doesn't blow up in any way, then it will just go, you know, disappear in the air. So it's let's pray during Chinese New Year nothing happens. Study life is just hams. Well, it's more important, really. Drama is just a side dish for life, right? Study is the proper thing to do. So just get it sorted. That's more important. I mean, back in the days when I was in school, there was no way I could have a channel. Because every day I look at my schedule about essays due, about exams and tests and projects and presentations. I'm already like exploding in my head. Any drama of Xu Kai? He has a couple. One may come out soon. The 爱的28定律. Is that she and her something like with Yang Mi, the contemporary one? That may come out first. There's like another two. I mean, the one with Wu Jingyan's long finish. It just depends on whether it comes out, which is the Ming Dynasty court drama. Is it? Yes. And then there's another period drama fantasy one. I'm not sure if they finished shooting or close to finish. So he has a lot. Xu Kai has a lot of dramas lined up. Battle of Spring Festival movies. Yes, let's see which one can perform well. Right now with all the ones that's being announced, it's gonna go. I have a feeling nobody is gonna be very, very exceptionally good. Doesn't look like so. Like the couple of ones that are lined up. Definitely not the year of like Honghai or Zhanlang or Wandering Earth. Just doesn't have one that I feel is gonna go as far. Let's see. Dramas, you know what? When you are under huge pressure, sometimes you just wanna watch absolutely terrible stuff, and it makes you feel better. I remember during my couple of terms when I had a lot of presentation, and because I was in landscape architecture, there are a lot of things that takes a lot of time, but it doesn't require you absolute concentration. For example, you're on computer and you're in InDesign and you're doing layouts for your presentation boards. Anybody who's printed those huge presentation boards would know. And you need to put all the text, all the images, line them up, and then, you know, like organize, and takes hours and hours. InDesign layout is like one of the most time consuming. I'd say the second most time consuming is building 3D models on computer. Anybody who's doing the same major may understand what I mean. So when I'm doing the layouts, you know, you don't need to be completely uninterrupted. You can still work on it. So I would have, on the other hand, my iPad. And I remember back in the days, I would turn on what movie you wouldn't believe while I was doing that. So it was back in let's say from 2013 to 2015. Yes, 2013 to 2015. Those were the days when I was like working a lot on those things. So that's the time frame. And I would turn on movies, okay? There's a particular, or I'll give you a clue. There are a couple of movies within the same series that aired or went into cinema during those years, and I would turn on those movies on the iPad while I was doing layout on InDesign. Whoever guessed it, and I told you it's absolutely crappy films. Whoever is the first person who guessed it will get my first giveaway. $50 gift card of anything of your requirement. So let me repeat that. I just said watching absolutely crappy things sometimes is actually very decompressing. So during 13 and 15, okay, 2013 and 15, there were a couple of films. And it's a series of films. It's Chinese films. Okay, it's already super, super specific now. Whoever gets, like, think about it, crappy Chinese series of films that released, Chinese ones, during those years, that I'd be watching to decompress myself while I was working on huge projects. I wouldn't be any more specific. Oh, yes! So clever. People, you're so clever. But also, I'm being very specific. So, Sarah, is that Sarah? Sarah O. Email me at hello@avenuex.ca. You'll get the first. I'll have another one. Yes, Tiny Times. Tiny Times. See, like, if I tell you it's Chinese and it's crappy, you know which one it is. A series of films. How time flies, hey? So, Sarah, email me. It's so crappy. It's so crappy, but I mean, when you're like so exhausted at schoolwork and you feel like shit, I'm gonna for the presentation, and there's like 10 different drawings I haven't done, and then I have to essays due, and I have this whole layout that I need to print out tomorrow. I'm still like trying to place everything. I just have it turned on the side, and I hear them quarrel, like those women in the film. They're like, and somehow it just feels great. Like, I cannot turn on a serious good stuff when I was like that. I had to have crappy films on. Anyone who's had the same experience, let me know. I don't know, if you're a psychology major, you may be able to tell why, because I have no idea, but I needed crap at the time. Lin Jianshan, Xu Kai, yes, that one. So yeah, cool. You see, it just came up naturally. I didn't even plan how I'm gonna get the first one, but hey, cool. So for Sarah, email me and then tell me what type of gift card you want. As long as I can get it for you and you can use it wherever you are. Sometimes it doesn't work, but most of the time it works out, so. And then when I'm doing other stuff, the most circle dramas are 甄嬛传, Empress in Palace, and 琅琊榜, Devouring Fire. If I really don't want to get new information, but then I just want something on the side to run episode after episode after episode, and I'm so familiar with all the lines, I don't even have to look at the screen. I just listen. I know exactly which scene, what they look like, and how they're acting. Where is like how is the shot positioned? I just like it's in my brain. I do that. It's like my most looped dramas. Ace Troop. No, I haven't. That drama is very inaccurate, pretty much in all details about military back in 1980s. Happened to have a military mother who was already out. She was in like in the mid 70s, I think. Can't remember exact years, but she was already back. But because I grew up with her stories, and I kind of have an idea about what armies and soldiers are like during that time. Like I don't even need to be an expert. I just look at a couple of scenes and I'm like, oh god, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. That is totally like no way 80s would have that. So switch on, switch off. In case I get to like want to rent. Yeah, the details of things is just like for militaries. If you want to find out, it's not hard. Basically, they didn't do research. Snow Sword Strike, probably not gonna do one. It's rather like time consuming to go through the entirety of it. I would have to triple speed through a lot of things. I like some of it I like, but it's not strong enough to convince me to watch through it minute by minute. While I have a lot other dramas on the side that I think are more interesting. Snow Sword Strike, and also like the attitude of the production crew and company and the directors, like from all the interviews they've done, you know, I don't appreciate their attitude. Is really weird. They're like, if you don't basically they're like, if you don't appreciate it, it means you have no taste. It's not our fault. And I'm like, what? Who the hell do you think you are, really? So like, this type of dramas, it just like puts you off a lot. Mirror, let's rant about Mirror. I watched 8 solid episodes, can you believe it, of Mirror, Twin City. Pretty much without speeding through. So the first 8 episodes, I've watched them every minute. I can make like 5 hours rent on it because literally every scene has something that doesn't make logical sense. But I was like, I don't even want to do it. It's just like while you're renting, you're gonna go out of steam. Like you're gonna keep saying something and then you're gonna stop and it's like, what's the point of doing this? Why am I talking about it? Why am I even bothering wasting my time talking about it? It's not worth it. That type of feeling. What a pity Zheng Yecheng is in it. Even like my preference of his like fighting stuff and overall as an actor is not strong enough for me to stick through the drama. And that says a lot about just how meh. It's so bland. I have a metaphor for Mirror Twin City. What it feels like to me while watching it is I have a piece of gum I've been chewing over for 24 hours and still haven't spit out in my mouth. And that's what the drama tastes like, is a piece of gum you've been chewing over for 24 hours. To me, it's the perfect feel to describe what the drama feels to me, but it's just me. Okay. Always, it's just me. Yibo movie. That one is finished shooting, but since it's just recently wrapped, it wouldn't be fast to come out. Films needs like, it wouldn't be weird if it doesn't come out until next year for cinemas, because cinema scheduling is much more complicated and tight than drama. So they would have the ideal time they want to come out, and then depending on what other competitors are, and they may adjust. So usually for films to release, it's like even less predictable. SSS. Okay, Snow Sword Stride, I agree with Jeanette. It's like, if you stop and basically if you turn on and start to watch, very soon you're gonna feel the like the vibe of it. Like, it has a particular way of telling stories, the pace, and it takes you on, and it's pretty enjoyable. But the problem with Snow Sword Stride is it doesn't have enough thing to make me want to first click open an episode. Because I know if I click open, after a couple minutes, I'm gonna be able to go with it. Okay, that I totally see. And I feel once you fall into its rhythm, it feels pretty nice. And all the actors, like at least Zhang Ruoyun, Hu Jun, these couple of people are really enjoyable on screen. But then, it's the initial step of click into that drama, find that episode, and say play. That part needs a lot of convincing. And when something else feels more attractive, I wouldn't even take the first step, therefore I wouldn't go. You see, like, that Snow Sword Stride to me is, I know I will watch it if I start, but the thing is, I kind of do not want to start. Is it weird? Sleepless Princess, yes, I did. That's last year or the year before, 2020. Quite a long time ago. Yeah, and then plus like the things of like, yeah, the overall attitude is weird from the production crew. It just makes very off-putting, basically. Thank you. Happy New Year. Loki Princess. Tiger. Hope Year of the Tiger is good. Zhang Ruoyun acting. Yeah, Zhang Ruoyun is, like, acting-wise, he's pretty good. And compared to a lot of same-age actors, he is already one of those, let's say, among the ones who have that level of exposure in terms of fame and popularity, and then can do the professional job to a certain standard. He is one of the better ones of the similar people of his sort of age range. I would agree with that. Love Never Lost, Li Xian. Yeah, it's weird, hey? That drama should have come out a long time ago. Somehow it still hasn't. Because it feels like it's been finished for over a year. Something like that. And you're waiting for it, and like last year would be the perfect time for it, time-wise, because it's 21. But then it didn't. I don't know if they run into... Because you never know for productions, right? They may have like legal arguments with other parties. They may have things that didn't settle. It could be a million things that stopped it from airing. Almost forgot about it. Thank you for reminding me. I feel like it should have aired already, but somehow that drama is still nowhere to be seen. See how many dramas are... Oh, and also by this point it's Thursday here. I've already seen so much news, like so many news items on new dramas, either scheduling or saying they're promoting, and like they're dumping all kinds of promotional material out before Chinese New Year. So yesterday I literally see like 10 pieces of different news on different dramas promoting. And I was like, hold on, people, what are you doing? And literally every time when I refresh my social media, I see a new drama saying, we get scheduled, we get scheduled, we get scheduled. Like, okay, so this is definitely their last wave of desperate attempt to get their work out of the way before they go on holiday. So many dramas, holy. My Saturday video is gonna be super long because it has too many things. It's like over 10 dramas. There's like, we're airing. You know, we put out our stuff and we're going on holiday, goodbye. Sally, any date on? No updates on Chris Wu. I think that thing is still under investigation. I've only heard like maybe because it involves more people. It just doesn't involve only him. It involves a lot of other people. Therefore, the process is like getting dragged out. No news. Being a hero. Being a hero is ever gonna air. Being a hero. See, that name sounds familiar, but I can't remember the Chinese. The problematic thing of Chinese dramas is sometimes you just don't remember. Oh, 冰与火. Yeah. 冰与火. Obvious. Yeah, that drama should have come out last year, January, something like that. Didn't. I think it's because it didn't go through censorship. See, because it's crime, it's drug, it has a lot of police involved thing. If they are very inaccurate or they have problems portraying the policeman, it will get censored and basically put back for re-editing. I think I heard at least last year, the reason it didn't air is because the censorship thing. This type of drama, really, you need a good consultant on the side when you're doing it and say if this would cause problem, because crime genre is very peculiar. In one way, you cannot be too far away from reality. In another way, you cannot actually show certain things. For example, how things are done. Because, you know, like you don't want all the criminals out there to figure out how the policemen are working, right? So there's always this really difficult thing with crime dramas that has anything to do with police, extensive police involvement plot, plus it's drug, which is a huge thing in China. Like one of the things that's definitely, you know, like priority. So that drama had a lot of problem in that way. Not sure if it has any new update on it. Oh, China Special Forces. I need an update. I'm not sure about that one. Girlfriend is an alien too. Silent reading. It's so quiet. It has nothing going on with it. Hey, right now it's called Abyss, right? It has a different name anyway. It's no longer silent reading. It's like 天官赐福 is no longer 天官赐福 but 吉星高照. You don't need a giveaway. Well, giveaway is just to celebrate Chinese New Year. And I get coffee, right, from coffee. And I still haven't figured out the best way to work as a gesture to everybody who's ever bought me a coffee and that type of stuff. So live stream is one of the ways. Doing calendars is another that I'm just so lazy. Drawing is very time consuming. Sometimes I just don't feel like doing it and I can't do it. Definitely. I probably need a boss basically to watch over me and say, you have to do this work, you know, you have to hand this in, and otherwise you won't get paid, you won't have this month salary. If I have a boss like that, I would sit down and within one day finish all the drawings and be good. But hey, I don't have a boss. Unfortunately. I only did this yesterday for the for reset. Purely because they're way too cute. But still, because it's such a short drama, I don't have that much to do with it. Really, it's just like very limited, right? With the amount of stuff in it. And so I just did those tiny stickers. This one is the worst. And the Puckbell's canon now has another thing with it. It has already been in so many films, televisions, for whatever purpose. It's one of the most used music everywhere. Now it has another meaning. It's like, it's about to explode. Ah. Now when you hear that music, if you're on a bus and you hear the music come up, right, the first thing you'll be doing is like, shit, I need to get off. Shit. The cat guy, yeah, the cat guy in Reset, he's so adorable. And it's so cute because he's the 二次元, right, in Chinese, what we call, which is like two-dimensional. Basically, people who are very into anime, manga, that type of thing, and we'll call them 二次元, which is also where Bilibili initially came from, in terms of what it did to start its own platform. And it's just like so cute because it is really like that. If you are a deep like fan and person of the 二次元, when you hear we are in the loop type of thing, you're gonna instantly be like, oh, that's totally fine. Like, I accept it 100%. It's like, how can I get in? I want to join the game. It's just so right. And you almost don't see that kind of characters in other dramas. I can't remember another one like this. Like, archetypical one. and he likes cats. I mean, what else can you say? Perfect. Ludi is the cat guy. Yes, the cat guy. And he's so rich because he has that total secret room that he rented to keep his cats and all of his like anime related things. And there is a video on China recently about what are those specific items. And he has like hundreds of them and how much it's gonna cost. So basically he's a secret, hidden, super rich guy. That just appears to be, you know, like weird to the adults of the world. But he is like, I don't know what job he does, because he has a job that gets him a lot of money. Otherwise he wouldn't be able to rent a room that he doesn't live in and then display all the collectibles. He has like insane difficult to get stuff, and it's just totally on the shelf, like 10s and 20s and 30s of them. Like, it is like you have to be like really rich to be able to have that room. And I am not an expert of that, but I know certain limited editions of these things are super expensive. Action figures and collectibles. He's so rich. He's so rich. Like, he's a secret rich guy. And who is like so lovely. Don't know. Like whoever is gonna get him in that fictional world is a lucky person. Yeah, 正午阳光, daylight entertainment, there's one thing it does that usually annoys female audiences, and it shows up in pretty much every drama that I would agree, is they tend to make female roles, particularly middle-aged, already married, have children, women, as detestable, as horrible, as off-putting as possible. You see, always it's the dad who is the more understanding, kinder person. It's always the mother who is the bitch. And think about it, right? In every pretty much 正午阳光 dramas, you have that. Either they're totally unaware that they're doing it, whether you can go it as far as say it's misogyny, or it's just like there's this deeply ingrained feel of when we get to this plot point, it should be the mother who does the type of thing and it feels right, and therefore they go for it. Or, whether like original stuff, if it's adaptation, has that written, honestly, as a drama maker, you can change that. If you have a couple that exist in a original material that's like this, and then you can decide to balance out my story whether I change certain things or not. But in their dramas, it's always the middle-aged mother who is like so bad. And the dad, see in Kaiduan, the blow up couple, the driver and the chemistry teacher, right? It's the driver guy who is the softer one, who is the one who still has doubts and who is not so, like, if it was for just him, he wouldn't do it, but it's the woman who decided to blow up the bus. If you look at Lu Di's parents, the father knows that he likes anime and he's kind of like, yeah, it's fine, I understand that, but the mother is like, no, the mother is and then for the other one, there's the other mother who is that? Let me just think, because I think there's another one. The guy who came out of prison and got all the watermelons. Like it's again the mother who comes to the jail and basically say, once you come out, don't come to us, like just live your life, we live ours. And you see, like it's always the middle-aged woman who's like 就爹味儿很重 in Chinese. It's 爹味儿很重. It pretty much like, then you think about pretty much like all is well, right? Like Su Mingyu's mother is like, oh my god, epic bitch. And just think through Fan Shengmei's mother. Think through pretty much like Ode to Joy, like the classic terrible mother. There's just so many middle-aged women who are just like the worst kind of characters out there. And pretty much we can find that in every Zhong Yangguang production. So, interesting observation. Like I saw that in somebody else's post. I was like, interesting. It does seem like they tend to do that a lot. Yeah, Liu Dan is a great actress though. So it's one of the things that Zhong Yangguang tend to have a lot. And like however you wanna think about that, like maybe they're totally not intentional, but hey, it just comes to that. Still though, they're very good storytellers, one of the best out there in China at producing dramas, because it's originally coming from Shanying, which is Shandong Yingshi. Can't remember the full name, it has a long title. So originally they're kind of 事业单位. They're owned by the sort of provincial television sort of production thing. Before a couple of the people working there who have worked for a long time decided to come out on their own and form their own commercial private company. But because they all come from this sort of state-owned media, and they've had already years of experience of producing things that's sort of taught from old-fashioned school, had a lot of like orders of things, experience of things, and how to properly do cinematography, how to properly do script producing. They have the team already there, the people who know each other very well and know what is like what you're good at, and therefore they went out to do 正午阳光, which is most of the people coming from that doing their own business, and they brought that team with them, with all those people who know their business. Therefore, they end up being this private drama company, but has an origin from the much older, more old-fashioned, good state-owned kind of production company. And so when they are doing things, they kind of start from a higher place than a lot of other companies that are formed with people who never worked in the system and never got years and years of training and test in the field to do like good work. So 这种阳光 has that advantage, but also because it comes from this old-fashioned, like very well-established kind of, you know, like production lines. It is lesser, like it does things less edgy. It do things more in a serious traditional tone. So you have these things going on, but still though, it's so much better than crappy drama companies. They got Ludi the Careless Cat. Yeah, I hope they had different, like just range other adoptions, right, for the other cats. Because if he put those news out, like, you know, probably they will. They're all very cute cats, so they'll probably find different owners. Also, you can't just take care of 4 cats and be like working a very high earning job at the same time. He already has 3 or 4, right, in his secret like rendezvous point, and then he gets a new one. Like, how many cats can you deal with? Xianxia drama. You know, wouldn't it be interesting? Alexandra, I haven't watched The Gold Leaf, so I've heard about his name. I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if one day 正午阳光 decides we're gonna make a 仙侠 but we're gonna make one that is just so different from every other 仙侠, and it's gonna just like totally basically blow up this genre and change how it's viewed. Wouldn't that be cool? You know, never say never. Hey, it may just happen. You know, like just find a really weird angle of talking about 仙侠 and then just do it in the most unusual way. Break all the current standard of 仙侠 and just, I'd say any genre is possible to have really cool stuff. It totally depends on, right, what kind of people are behind the wheel. And how they first are good at telling stories, second that they are ambitious about. And they have like their own ambition that's regardless of what the market likes, what all the platform likes, what traffic likes, and then they are able to do it. Because if you don't have money backing, right, a lot of things don't happen. And they are powerful enough in the industry that they can decide we're gonna do something that nobody see coming, and then we can still get investment because of their reputation is so cool that, you know, like they would want that. If it ever happens like that, that would be like the weirdest thing in Dramaland. It's like for a serious, proper, realistic, very grounded drama production company to say, we're gonna go and just do a crazy fantasy drama and see how cool we are. Basically see, you know, like how good we are to the point that even a genre that you just never see us ever doing, we can do it 10 times better than you do. Wouldn't that be cool? That in itself is a novel. Xianxia. So people are talking about Xianxia. Right now it's Twin City, and there are so many more coming. Right? Just off the top of my head, there's 虫子, there is the 迪丽热巴 and 任嘉伦 one, there is the 程毅 and 杨紫 one, there is the 吴磊 and 赵露思 one, Uh, already it's pretty insane. What else? There's a couple more. uh, 肖战, oh yeah, the 人民跟肖战馆. What else? Anyway, there's so many more. Basically, so many more. 长月烬明 is also one, but that's the one that looks at least visually slightly more interesting. The 罗云熙 and 白鹿 that they're still filming. Anything else? Like so many, basically. You can easily just count like a dozen of them that are just coming. And is there gonna be even one out of this whole thing that would make a splash? Highly doubting that. Just because first is how people are just exhausted about this genre, and then so many things are just similar. They're just like same style, same type of story, involves lifetimes of death and living and saving the entire existence, right? 拯救苍生, as if 苍生 cares. But at the end, it's always like it's the personal romantic relationship that's more important than saving, I guess, existence. And often it's like from a 苍生's point, like me, an ordinary human, I'm like, really? If you gods just leave us alone and then don't fall in love, we'd be all good. You know, usually why we get destroyed is because you F it up. You know, like that type of story setting. And then often you have like the teacher and student. Whether it's BL or BG, it's always the teacher falls for the student or student falls for the teacher, and then plus like at least 3 lifetimes, you know. It can go up as like, I don't know, 10 lifetimes, hundreds of lifetimes. I'm like, what? Like every story is the same. It's the same element. It's like a standard dish of Chinese xianxia, and it all has, for example, it all has tomato, it all has egg, it all has green onion, it all has ginger, and it's just people put different amount of it in the thing, and then cook it slightly differently, and then you end up with 10 dishes that are pretty much interchangeable. It's so boring, holy moly. So you know, it's like no wonder whenever, you know, like after that many you get tired and you're like, I don't care, you know, like I don't care who is the leading cast and how much money you invest in whatever IP it is. Like when I hear xianxia, the first thing is it's gonna be crap. That's like the starting point of expectation. It's like, oh, it's gonna be another. Everybody has white clothes. And everybody has like crazy hair that comes down and just never bother to like comb them up. And then lifetimes of love stories. Why? You know, sometimes you just feel like really probably like not even the actors, not even the production team really want to do anything. Maybe it really is just for money laundry that they make those projects, so that they have a higher expenditure. They can hide a lot of the expending items on their account books. For example, it actually only cost them $10,000 to blow up a like built set, and they just say $1 million. You can figure out if it's real. You can audit that. You don't have proof, like it really did cost that much money. So they would just 10 times the cost and then pocket all the money for their own and make the account book look okay. And then at the end of the year say, oh, by the end of the year we didn't make that much of profit. So first we don't have to make that much tax, like we don't have to pay that much tax. Then we don't have to pay if it's like, I don't know, like a company IPO or whatever, stock market, we don't have that much earning to give you, like whatever, you know. I used to feel like maybe that's why they're making this type of dramas, because it's so easy to do money laundering with drama making. You can hide millions, tens of millions in the items that just nobody can figure out whether it's real or not. Maybe that's why they keep making it. I I think it's totally reasonable. Ooh. Good 现象, good 现象. Recent years, only Love and Destiny, probably. It's not that brilliant, but it's already like better than others. But it's pretty long, so you have to have the patience to sit through a initial, because the initial starts very tropey in terms of setup, right? Who is who and what relationship they have. But as it moves on, it becomes much better. But still, it didn't break through. Let's say it didn't break through the archetypical setups of this type of story. It didn't offer any unusually interesting angle. It just is overall a better production. And if it wasn't for Nini and Zhang Zhen as the leads, it wouldn't be half as good. If it's just the script itself, if it doesn't have those two actors in it. They're too long, although I do have to say they're all very long. So it's, I'm just counting times. Okay. Thinking about how long I should be staying on this thing. Oh. Guilt panning, haven't yet, need to, but I'm a little bit, like I watch half an episode and I feel the pacing is very, and I haven't watched the rest, but I did hear roughly about what it is, and a lot of people say it has the type of problem where it's not bad, but the story itself is not that engaging, interesting, to the point that it's like when you're watching, it's fine. When you quit, and you lack the motivation of going back. I don't know if that's the case. I'm behind because I have to catch another 2 dramas that are daily updating, and it's just like you don't have time. And then I'm also like I almost forgot the existence of Dream Garden because it updates so slowly compared to other Chinese dramas. But I am up to now. Like it has 1 episode left, I think. That drama really started to just give up on psychology after I've made my first video. Pretty much after that, it's just a romantic story and the 2 leads, and there's hardly any psychology consultation story going on. A couple of good stories happen at the beginning, then it just falls into let's fall in love, and it's Gongjun and Qiaoxing. And there's 1 episode, I can't remember which one, 12 or 13, they literally had like 3 or 4 kiss scenes in 1 episode under different circumstances, and I'm like, seriously, another kissing scene? Stop doing that. You're sprinkle dog food again. So I'm a little bit like, oh, come on, really? You need to do that? But I mean, when the last episode airs, I'll check it out, and then I'll just leave it. The really exciting part is the first half, the better ones, and then it starts to just like, it's Qiaoxing and Gongjun. It is his partner, the actor Zhang Duo, who played Wu Youjue in Luoyang. That guy with the manga artist who is the girlfriend of the female lead, like it's these 2 couple, it's their love story, plus the admin girl at the consultation center who is with a younger guy. Like, It just suddenly becomes 3 couples love story. Maybe they just ran out of stories and ran out of good plot to write about psychology. So they just suddenly turned 100% on the love story end. What? Fu Ku? Isn't that a like a Mandarin legend goddess? I have a rough memory of that name. Like I've read it somewhere. but if it's a legend, then it wouldn't really have a photo. How do you know if I can look like one? Untamed. Untamed is 修仙. It's like 修仙, but then nobody has like god power. But then they have a little bit beyond traditional wuxia power level of things. So it's like more 修仙. Cultivate to become, right? Sprinkle dog food, dog blood. What does it mean? It's the Chinese expression. I don't know if there's an absolute exact translation in English. There probably is a very similar one. 撒狗粮 is basically, it comes from, dog food comes from this. From, let's say within the last 10 years, right? It becomes a popular term in Chinese because people start to describe single people as single dog. 单身狗. It basically says when you're single, you are in a type of not so desirable living conditions. And sometimes it's a self. It's very hard to describe that. It's slightly negative, but it's like you're laughing at yourself. You're calling yourself a single dog. So that term becomes popular. Therefore, when you are single, and then a couple, whether it's in reality or on screen, starts to show how intimate they are in front of you, it is called they are sprinkle dog food. They're throwing that at you with their intimacy and their romantic relationship and how happy they are. Is trying to just like, you know, like hit you with it and say, hey, you are a single dog out there. Yeah, and we're like, you know, sprinkle a bit food to feed you. And so that become, so with single dog, it becomes dog food becomes that meaning. So whenever a real life or on-screen couple start to show, publicly display their affection to the single people, it is called they are 撒狗粮, sprinkle dog food. So that is what it means. Yeah. And then it gets even sort of used in situations where it's not really towards single people. It's just if there's any public display of affection, it's called 撒狗粮because they're doing it, and then you know, the people who are looking at them, you don't know who is single or who is not. So basically, you're just attacking people indiscriminately. So that's what it means in terms of dog blood. 撒狗血, sprinkle dog blood. It's the type of very drama plot. You know, it's like the third wheel comes to the family and then fight with the wife, and then all the relatives come and it's a mess and everything is like, or the super tropey heightened drama plot. Basically any type of super tropey heightened drama plot can be called 撒狗血. Very 狗血. I mean, like for example, like a chance meeting, 今生有你, which is called 往后余生 previously with 钟汉良and Li Xiaoran. It is a level of 撒狗血. Like the very tropey cliche plot. Like a couple fall in love and the guy's father doesn't like the girl, and because of like she actually think he is the person responsible for killing her father. Therefore, they cannot be together anymore because they are literally enemies, and she lied to the guy saying your father paid me to leave you, so I leave you. But the fact is a different thing, but the guy never finds out, and how many years later they meet again and she has a child and the child is actually a guy's and the guy didn't know, and then all that is a type of dog blood because it's just so cliche, super cliche, right? So that's the explanation of dog food and dog blood, and I don't know why people just decide to pick dog. It's very sad, but dogs are cute, but puppies get used in this. So that's what it means. Hopefully that's like it's possible, like hopefully that's clear enough and you see like where the where the logic lies. Yeah, melodrama, but then also like just like usually a little bit melodrama, but then more more sleepy. More like people are like at each other type of thing. So it's hard to explain the exact meaning, but you probably get it. Like for example, like Ode to Joy, 欢乐颂. Like a lot of the plot with Fan Shengmei and her mother is very 狗血. Or Fang Sijing's plot in the Find You a Better Home, Sun Li and the mother and her family. That whole end of things is super 狗血. So you kind of get the idea. And then like any type of 车祸绝症治不好. It's like a car accident that makes you lose your memory. Or like at some point you find one of them has terminal disease, and then like like all of that can be categorized. And I mean you can call it soapy, but I think soapy is a little bit gentler than 狗血. 狗血 is even more soapy than soapy. But then that's just what I feel it is. It's in the same category kind of things. So dogs, who doesn't like dogs? Puppies and cats, and they're all absolutely adorable. and if you're watching Reset, the young policeman who is very annoying in the first couple of episodes, 小江. The actor is called Li Gan, I think. He's like, his animal now in China is a puppy, and he has to be the particular type of puppy, the 土狗, the Chinese domestic, like unbreeded or no breed dog, general dog that's yellow with a black nose. Very specific. And now he has the puppy nickname. People have decided he's a puppy. 小土狗. I'm just wondering if there's a photo, because I've seen it. Oh, this type of, no, that's not. 狗素. 土狗. I think it's very accurate because also his profile picture. Let me actually find it, because I've seen it on Bilibili. His profile picture is a 土狗. He really does look like one. I have to say that. 演员灵感. Oh no, he used a black, I think it's a black husky. Well, that's his own picture. But people decide he's more like a 土狗, which is a yellow body and then black nose. This is what he uses for his own profile. He does look like a sad puppy. Oh, and do you know this actor actually has been in the BL? Yeah, before. 下过海了，小江警官已经下过海了. He's already been in the ocean. So it's another Chinese dramaland term if an actor has been in the ocean or sea. 下海 literally means going down into the sea. If a guy has been going down into the sea, it means they've been in a BL type of drama. guy and guy, and he's already been in one. When this got like popular, this drama, his old history got dug out, and people realized he played in the drama like that, and he is the top guy. in that production. Not German Shepherd, more like the Chinese Tugo. It's very hard to describe what it is. Let me find it. 中华田园犬 a Chinese Tugo. Like this kind of dog. 小 Tugo. And they grow up to be something like or like this type of dog. Like they're not really exactly having a very accurate breed thing, but like they're in countryside, and it's often been kept as like guarding the household, garden, whatever type of dog. 小土狗 What? Alexandria have 7 cats? Like at the same time? You keep them in the same room or same house? 7? How many litter boxes do you have? Oh my god. And how much do you have to pay monthly for their food? That's insane, 7 cats, oh my god. And do you have to like basically vacuum your place every day? Otherwise like you pull out a hair from your eyeball? I've done that before. I used to live with 2 cats for 2 years and half. And pretty much they're not in cage, so they're roaming around that entire apartment. Wherever they want to go, they go. It's just they sleep with their owner and I sleep in a different room. So when I sleep, I close my door. But every time, like every other time, it's always open. So they go everywhere. And one day, I pulled out a cat hair out of my eyeball. I'm like, really? Just like, ooh, cat hair. Ginger. Wow. In your yard. Wow, you have a huge yard then. Wow. Megastar. Traffic actor. Traffic actors may be like really popular, but like how do you define mega, right? I think when you get to mega, you have to be both professionally speaking, highly claimed. Basically, people in the industry would also agree you are like really good. Then you have high popularity. You need both. If you only have like high popularity, but then there are type of dramas that people will never cast you because they know you can't do it, then I don't know. Mega is hard to define. Wow. People. Cool. I'm jealous of 7 cat owners. 12. Okay, so you have the Fangyang type. You let them roam free. You keep them in the yard. If they come back, they come back. If they don't, well, that's at least easier to manage, I think, than say keep them indoor. That would be crazy. 12 cats. Wow. High traffic star who think has actual talent. Do you want to get me murdered? Basically, say it here on YouTube, and then get I don't know, like cut out as a piece that's like out of context and put out somewhere. So like, and then people will say, I'm the professional fan, I'm the paid fan of this particular actor and actresses. And then everything I say good about them is not believable because I'm paid. And then that means I hate everyone else. If I say that, basically that's what it means these days. Haha, I love internet. high popularity with great talent. Because there are only a few people who has very big traffic, very, very big one. And I don't want to consider them as the same type of actors with actors who are very good and who are also relatively well known. It still is very different. Honestly, if you want to say the high traffic ones, super, super popular ones, right? The ones who have like tens of millions of let's say over 20 million followers on social media and above. And honestly, always on trending hashtag. It's hard to think any of them really can be considered super talented. Have I managed to basically offend everybody? Haha. Maybe. But I mean, it's not like it should not exist, basically. You know, it has its own, it's like idols or more popular side of things have their own purpose of existence. It's just in recent years, they've taken too much of the resources away, attention away. They basically, they're what's the word? Corrosion, the corrosion of fandom into everything. So they're fandomizing every field, which is very weird and problematic. They're fandomizing education, they're fandomizing science communities. Like everything gets like a chart, a data, like who performs most, who gets most retweets, who gets most whatever, like gifts from, like flowers online. That is not real flowers, just digital flowers, or whoever gets to the top of whatever chart who puts out there just to get money. Like everything gets that, which is very ugh. But you know, it is what it is. So I mean, having those popular actors and actresses and having the particular type of dramas that kind of serves its audiences, it's fine. It's fine. As long as it's not trying to hijack everything else. It's like everybody else have to follow their way of, like their standard and their way of like considering who is popular or not. That is pretty you know, like a couple of years ago, is it last year or the year? No, it's not 2021, 2020, I can't remember. Anyway, 2020 or 2021, the Cai Xukun and Zhou Jielun fight. It's so funny. Basically, Cai Xukun's fans were like, Zhou Jielun, who, like, he's not popular anymore. He's not on any chart. Look at our chart. Like, our idol is always on the top. Where is Zhou Jielun? He's like 50 down the whatever 数据, right? The data. So basically, it's dependent upon how many people go and vote for them every day and all that type of thing. So, and immediately, it got big. That thing got big online, and somehow everybody heard about there's a chart, and then it's his fans are trying to basically are laughing at outdated idols of previous generation. Within a couple of days, all the people who do not have Weibo, do not have all the social medias, downloaded it and then just voted Zhou Jielun to the top. You see the number every second just counts on like crazy, and these people never know this type of thing exists, but they're just very offended by the fact that an idol who pretty much nobody has heard about his songs, like really nationally speaking, their fans are going so crazy, therefore they just all went in, and then immediately after a couple of days, Zhou Jielun went to the top of the chart. Way beyond any fandom's ability to change that. Just to show, like really popular people, how many people, you know, are like, they don't go on internet and do the fandom stuff, but does not mean the audiences are not there. It's the quiet public who doesn't do it. Go to your way of showing your support. But if you screw them up, you see what happens, which is revenge. But obviously that only happened for a couple of days, and afterwards, his name comes down from the chart again, because these people don't care about fandom. So they were like, we're just showing you, you know, like you have a wrong perspective of how things work in reality, and then we go out, like we leave because we don't want to play your game of data troop. And it's so funny, like everybody was like on internet watching that huge battle. It's like voting and then pushing Zhou Jilun to the top. Zhou Jilun probably was super baffled about that. It was like, what happened? Why me? Oh, how? Like, why does this have anything to do with me? Anyway, it's really funny. It's just all fandom. Hey, fandomize everything, huh? It's fine. No, it's fine. It's like it's okay. It's not a trap. It's basically like the super popular people, right? Super popular. But then they don't have to be in any way to be super, like you don't have to always compare them to, say, the more professional end of people, as long as they do it within their own, like they have their own fun. Basically, the fandom have their own fun. They don't just go out and try to regulate and force their ideas about who is good and not good and who is like the most talented person on other people. It's fine. 圈地自萌, okay, just like circle that land and have fun within it, it's fine. But if you try to go out everywhere and just try to make everyone agree with you on like who is the coolest guy out there, then it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, the majority of the people still do not have any ideas about who are the super popular people in anything, like whether it's in pop music, actors, actresses, even gamers, or online celebrities, influencers, with that really bad word. And honestly, these people, if you look at China, 1.4 billion people, and even if one influencer, actor, pop singer is like really famous within a group of demographics, the likelihood is they are not well known across the board. And these sort of 国民 and nationally well-known people are only still that sort of a couple, like very old, well-established people. And sometimes people lose perspective because they're always online and they think that whatever social media or like online platforms they use is the whole world. And if their idol is the top there, therefore everybody just should know and should just feel, you know, like as appreciative as they are about their idols. But the fact is, I mean, go and ask your teacher and your parents and your grandparents and, you know, your even your boss at your company or whatever. Probably they were like, oh, who? That's the reality, right? So, like, the perspective is important. My cousin Emperor Qianlong is very famous. What? Can't quite understand that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go away for a few seconds and come back. And then we're gonna do the second giveaway. Let me think how I'm gonna do it. Hi, I'm back. I'm back. I just caught somebody leaving. Yes, the Manchuria. I don't know. It's English, like how to read that, but I think I've read that in some like folklore legend mythology of the Manchurian race. The what ethnic group? Yeah, what's the word for it, right? Yes. So I didn't remember it wrong. Cool. Because I think it's a very interesting name, just when it's written in Chinese, the full Kulu, and therefore I remember it. I have an impression of it. Fate of BL drama now? Did I mention? I didn't. I kind of didn't. Did. Like, I don't know. I have heard so many different ways of like talking about it. Some of them saying certain dramas can still air, but they need to cut out a lot of things and not promote it as BL. Like it was super low key, or it's just all gone. Like, I've heard both sides from different people, and none of like and people don't have like 100% solid. And also I guess if people really like people who are in the sort of who have contacts within basically censorship and all that, like they wouldn't really say it, right? Why would they come out and say what has been 100% consolidated publicly? It's kind of like looking for trouble, so you wouldn't really say that. I still want to watch a couple of dramas that's in this, right? Chase the Light, Immortality, definitely. Chapeau definitely. I mean, Yan is looking pretty interesting too. Hey, who knows? Who knows? At least just give me one. Like, one. Just one. Like, you can even edit like 90% out of it, but just... Or you can just cut out certain plot and make it totally incoherent. I don't care. Just give me a few editing materials. I'm like so in that kind of like whatever a mood that as long as you give me anything, I'm happy. Like, it could be episode 1 cut to episode 3 cut to episode 5. Nothing happens in between. You don't know what happens, and the whole narrative just falls like you don't understand what goes on. It's fine. Still though, just show me a little bit of what you filmed. Because of love. What is because of love? Chinese name? Anybody? Because of love, because of love, because of love. Have I heard of it? Like, you know, those titles are so generic that like a million different, like falling love, this of love, that of love. You're like, which one is Chinese? Like, what Chinese title? It's so not creative. Miss S. What is Miss S? Yeah. I need some kind of super intelligent AI to tell me what is the Chinese and English name of every drama. Instantly. Delicious Romance. Didn't? It doesn't have one? It should have one. I always upload it. Does it have problems? Let me go back and check when I have time. Because I think I upload everything these days with the subtitle. If it doesn't, that would be weird. Because it's one of the process you have to do until you get to the end. If you don't do it, you won't go to the end. So there's no way that I don't upload it. But if it happens, maybe it's some weird thing that happens. On the back end, like YouTube glitch. Because it can glitch. It can glitch in very weird ways. Oh, because of love. Oh, it has another title? Like, how many titles did it have? Because it's initially 往后余生, then 今生有你. Initially a chance meeting, now because of love? Come on. Decide. decide which one and don't change it. It just keeps moving from Oh, did anyone hear about Fight Club on Tencent getting re-edited, cutting the whole ending off and change the ending with subtitles? And I think it's the original author, the novel writer, heard this and sent out a tweet. It's like, look at this shit. But the funny thing is, the film version actually changed the book version's ending, and the Chinese Tencent's re-edited version ending is actually closer to the original author's ending than the movie's ending. In the movie, everything blows up. In the book, it didn't. And then the Chinese Tencent version cuts the end and then typed with subtitles and saying it didn't blow up. So it got this really awkward double irony that that it's absolutely stupid for Tencent to do that, but then it just happens to do a fake, like they make up an ending for it that actually, see how just stupid the whole thing is. And absolutely 魔幻现实主义, which is like fantastical realism of this world. And the weird thing about Fight Club is, Fight Club actually, it's not like a Guangdian, National Radio and Television Administration decided you have to cut the ending. It's pretty much most likely Tencent as a platform itself decided to cut the ending because it worries about if I keep the original ending, it's gonna get me into trouble, so I might as well just over-censor myself and cut it off. And the entirety of Fight Club has been imported in China before, and without cutting. And it has actually aired on CCTV6, which is the number 6 of the CCTV. But that television station actually doesn't belong to CCTV. It belongs to a Chinese Film Bureau. I can't remember. So it's an individual organization that's not CCTV, but then it attaches with CCTV's name. And because they're on the same level as Guangdian, so Guangdian has no right to censor their stuff. Therefore, actually, CCTV6 have previously, a long time ago, screened this entirety of Fight Club without any weird editing. Now it goes on Tencent's streaming platform and they cut off the ending. So you see like how weird censorship is also in China. It's never black and white. It's never just one simple rule, cut it all. It has so many different players in this whole game. And depending on what platform your stuff is on and then what time it is and all the things in play, certain things may pass, certain things may not. Certain things may pass 5 years ago, but now it gets recensored and then changed. And then certain things that didn't pass may pass in the future. It's all just a fucking mess. And if anyone has followed that news, it's just so funny. I have to say. When I heard it, I was like, what happened? Fight Club and this and that? I'm like, this is like crazier than novel. So, if anyone wants to ask me about censorship and about like anything of censorship, I'm like, I cannot answer you that. Because pretty much nobody can answer that question in China either. It's just all so weird and messy and case specific. Oh my god, has anyone heard about, yes, the curse of Turandot? It's a basically being laughed at film in China and unanimously agreed one of the worst film of last year. But still it looks like another money laundering project, super like that. But I haven't watched it. But this setup and the costume and the acting and The plot is pretty ridiculous when you hear, just listen to what happens to it. It's weird. That film is so weird. Yeah, Flower Face, that would not happen in terms of selling it to Netflix. Because all Chinese dramas, it cannot not go through China's censorship and then only be bought by foreign. Like, it wouldn't work like that. You can't do it. Okay, basically. Basically, it can't happen. Also, like, China doesn't have Netflix, in case you don't know. Netflix is not even in China. So, it's just like, it can't happen. Unless it's a fully foreign made, say, on foreign soil with foreign actors, foreign production companies, making a Chinese story somehow. I don't know how you do it, but let's say magically you find a workable Chinese cast and you completely do it by a foreign company, like, and then you can make it, I don't know, like, Chinese government has nothing to do with it, but you have Chinese production companies, you have Chinese actors, you have like all, like, it doesn't work. Like, you can't just not go through China's doors threshold and go straight foreign. Wouldn't work. So yeah, that route is also, like, I mean, it wouldn't be encouraged, I think, to have different versions on different platforms. But then if tiny things happen, maybe it doesn't really get caught, right? If you have like a Chinese version and a Netflix version, and a Netflix version has like one more shot, like 2 seconds long, then that possibly could happen. Nobody can just keep watching like 40, 50, 100 episodes and just watch every second. And is it exactly the same? Maybe not. I mean, if there are very special projects that can do that, then they probably have a very special way of doing it. And mostly, largely, for the general big productions, probably that's not really a possibility. Also, just saying, if you're making completely for a foreign platform, whether you're gonna actually get as much money as you say you have a Chinese domestic market, is very questionable. Like, if you make a Chinese drama and it goes only to, like, say, Netflix or anything, it still can make you more money than, say, if you air in China. You have to have, like, such a good story, like, cutthroat good, to be able to say, I dare to do that, and it will, like, I dare doing that, and grammatical mistake, can't remember how to say that word, but anyway, and still have it work out. Honestly, globally, let's be honest, Chinese dramas does not have that big a market. Asian dramas, it's K-drama. It's the K-pop K-drama that has the global audience-wise much bigger than Japanese, Chinese dramas. Definitely 100%, like, that's the fact. And they're not even on the same level for comparison. It's not like like I'm 20%, you're 30%. It's like I'm 2%, you're 30%, that type of thing. So they're not on the same level. Honestly, for Chinese drama, right, to be able to do that, it's not yet the time. It's just not there yet. And honestly, if you can't make money in China for Chinese drama, that means pretty much you're dead, because China is the biggest domestic market there is. And Chinese dramas are very specific, right? So, and also because Chinese drama and Chinese culture in general doesn't have that much of an international appeal so far, like right now, let's say globally, say, compared to South Korean stuff. So, some of the things you can't force. It's just like not the right environment and matured market yet to have that. You have like WeTV, you have iQIYI's international platforms, you have, you know, a couple of platforms having their international branch, but that's like the auxiliary, like the attached on parts of those big enterprises. The most of the money comes from domestic, and the international is so just like, because we can do it, let's just do it. Might as well just get a little bit more, but it's not something that's like really gonna change any of its, like, impacted any significant way yet. Who knows in the future, but now it's not yet there. So be honest and frank about like what the reality is. Don't see it happening very soon for dramas to say we just look at international markets and we just bypass domestic. iQIYI is struggling to survive. So like, I mean, if it disappears like in a year or two, I wouldn't be too surprised. Or it get bought by somebody, and then like it could totally happen. They're just like so struggling for money. And I think Tencent has also cut so much of their projects. Like the Greenlight meeting is like 50-1, like 50 proposal past one. And iQIYI is even worse. I don't know about Alibaba, Youku, but probably not doing very well too. Cause I had Youku contact while Word of Honor was airing. and then the other day, already January, not last year, I had something I need to ask him. So I texted him, and he was like, oh, I have already moved from Youku to Tmall, which is Taobao's another, like the more professional and brand oriented Taobao. So it's all within Alibaba, but he's like, I'm no longer doing the drama and that end of things. I have moved to Tmall. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So pretty much like nobody's doing very well in the video making thing right now. Do dramas get income? Probably, yeah. If you see ad, like in between like a 40 episodes drama, you see like an ad pop up somewhere in between, that's money. If it doesn't have ad at all, it doesn't make money. Or maybe they have deals with YouTube on the back end that we don't know. Like say we put a drama out here, and you know, like you pay me how much? Maybe, but I don't know if that happens, because YouTube is pretty much only running on ads, right? So if you see an ad popping up, they're making money. If it's not, then they're not. Before that, one writer whose book the drama was based on moved to another platform. Oh yeah, Zi Jingchen was on iQIYI, and then he moved to, is that Youku or Tencent? I can't remember. Because iQIYI really has no money. You see, like it's desperate. It has no money. It can't even keep Zi Jingchen. Zi Jingchen made 2020 Light On successful because his two projects, 隐秘的角落 and 沉默的真相 was the king of dramas 2020. And you'd think, right, a platform would be desperate to keep on this guy, however, but they couldn't. See, like they definitely are running out of money. Otherwise, like they wouldn't let him go. I like the only possibility is can't pay you, and the other platform has more money. Epilogue. Oh, that extra couple of minutes. It's very short. Let me think where you can find it. Can you find like those pirated websites that host Chinese dramas? It may have it. Or you can ask around, see somebody if they have it on cloud. Like they just save it as a video file. That probably have it because it's really short. It's just like what, a couple of minutes. Where else? Ask around, basically. A lot of people may just have it. They can just send it to you. It's very short, so it's a small file. It's a video file that's really small. Vicky? Oh, cool. Vicky has it. Oh, cool. Oh, so we should do we should do another giveaway, and then I'll still be here for a couple minutes before I get off, before midday. Let's think. How are we gonna do the second one? Okay, I'm gonna do something that's very boring. I'm just gonna ask something and then type out your answer. The first person who answers it correctly will get my $50 giveaway. So get ready. I'll wait for a bit for the lag of time, because I think I'm like 15 seconds ahead of you seeing me. Okay. So if people are ready, if people are ready, I'm gonna go with the first one who, if it gets repeated by the first, like Sarah, it will go to the second one. So for what is, like, you don't have to type the Chinese, you type the English, okay? Type the English expression of the Chinese version of public display of affection. First person to type the correct word, in, that means the thing in Chinese, public display of love and affection. Full one, okay? Okay, so I have okay, the problem with you people is the first one didn't say sprinkle, the second one typed Chinese, the third one typed sprinkle dog food. Okay, so let me do this. For Zhang Wei Ran, okay, I'm guessing that's how your name is pronounced, and then Evelyn, both of you email me, okay? I'm gonna give one to both of you. Yeah. So, Zhang Wei Ran, 3个2, and Evelyn as Debbie. Hopefully didn't screw up your name. Email me. Who did cat food? Cat food. How sad. Cat just doesn't get that special treatment. Okay, so for you two, please email me. hello@avenuex.ca. You can see that in the description of the channel. And send me an email about what you want. Could be Apple Store, could be Amazon, could be whatever. Like possible for me to buy. I mean, I even bought like a grocery coupon for somebody in Singapore before. So like, as long as it's possible to pay, it could all work. Oh, good. Didn't screw up your name. Because my real name gets screwed up fully, completely, all the time. Nobody can really pronounce it correctly if they're not Chinese. Haha. And it's unfortunate. It's both. It's the first name and the surname both. You can't pronounce it correctly if you're not Chinese. How sad is that? Okay, that's just my weird special case. So, Zhang Wei Ran. Okay, Zhang Wei Ran, and yeah, just email me. Sprinkle dog food. Yes, that's the correct answer. Sprinkle dog food. Yeah. I had a long explanation, so if you go back and check the stream, somewhere I talked about it. Somewhere I talked about it. People are all correct. If you look at what people type, the same thing that repeated most times is sprinkle dog food. So now for the dramas, there are a lot more to come during Chinese New Year, and there's one I look forward most is 人间在人间. It seems to be a huge saga drama that's gonna cross many generations, and it has all-star cast, and its first trailer. Oh, I dropped offline for 1 second. But I'm back. It's fine. It's fine. You guys are gonna see me back. I think. Okay, I'm waiting for you to type and say it's all working. 10 to 15 seconds. So I saw like a flick on my screen saying I'm offline for like a bit, but I'm back. So hopefully I'm back now. The hair thing. Hey, it's one of the things I've been doing. So I'm thinking about a new line of product that I'm gonna make myself, which is the things that you're seeing me wearing recently. In all of my videos, I have something pretty much for different videos. It's still in the making, and it has a lot of problems that needs to be figured out. So if it's ready, I'll let you guys know. It's something that I really want to make, but first, they're gonna be super expensive because they're purely handmade and absolutely time consuming. In the like incredibly, unbelievably time consuming way. And then because they're in 3D, so I have to ship them as parcel, which means shipping them as leather can no longer work, which means I have to figure out, basically I have an alternative way of shipping them that's different from, say, my pins and my stickers. But that also involves a lot of figuring out on my end, on the website and on everything. So that needs to figured out. I need to figure out a basically reliable way of doing that. And then I would be able to ship it 100% tracked, but to limited number of countries. So Canada, USA, both, but then also about 20 other countries in this world that can get it, basically. And then other countries can still get it, but it will not be trackable. And trackable shipping would be way too expensive. If you live in Canada, if you ship a card, like a tiny parcel, but it's like, say, to Philippines, it's that tiny. And if you track it, right, it's like $60, $80, $100 just to ship it. So that would be way too crazy for it to work. I am figuring out how to get this done, and I have to design a logo for this. I have to figure out what type of things I do, and then it's very complicated, but logistically, it's a hell to figure. I am in the process of getting it done, but it's still not yet. Probably within a month or two. If it happens, I'll let people know. And it's really cool. And I've been practicing since last year, trying to figure out how to do it and get good at it. and learn how to not overdo it, because when I first started practicing it, it literally, like, it causes inflammation of your knuckles, of your hands, because of how much workload you have on your hands. And it's pretty, I mean, these days, okay, when I try to touch these type of screens, if it's iPad, often I have to multiply do it because it wouldn't recognize my fingertips. Because fingertips get worn off with the work it does, like these, like your fingerprints, and basically the texture of your skin changes. So it becomes very like less responsive when I touch screen. It's crazy. So if I manage to launch this, first is it will be super expensive. Second, it won't be able to ship to everywhere. Third is I can only make a very limited number a week or a month. Like there's tiny amount of order I can do just because of how tough it is. But it's really cute. How many people are Yanxi Palace fans? Story of Yanxi Palace. If you watch the drama, you know what this is. Okay, what this is. So this is basically the same thing. And I've been like doing a lot of work on this. This is absolutely absolutely hand destroying, basically. But I just find it super interesting, and design wise, free. Like you can do so many things with it. So that is the China's intangible cultural heritage thing. Finger protectors wouldn't really work very well due to what you do. It wouldn't work. You have to use your fingers. That's the thing. Due to the process of making it, it's very hard on your hands. But I think once you get used to it, you become better, and you're unlikely to injure yourself that much. This year, do I think this year I'll get obsessed? I don't know what's coming, because maybe certain dramas will never air, right? So you never know. Honestly, as like talking from person's perspective, I don't really want to get too obsessed with the drama anymore, because it's too time consuming and energy consuming. And but I know, like, when it happens I can't control it, but maybe from now on I'm gonna just like hold back a little bit more, just because it's in the long run it's a little bit too crazy. And it's gonna be really hard these days. Like these days, for example, for the Reset drama, I really like it. I still don't get so prompt to do much about it. One is because it's short, contemporary, less sort of stuff to talk about from my end of things. The other is like, even if I like it a lot, I like for this particular drama, I don't get inspired that much to edit videos. It works differently on different people. I have a friend who already made like 2 fan content creations for this drama. And while I was watching Reset, I really like it, but I'm like, I don't feel like I need to make a video like editing on it, because I don't know what I can do that's gonna be interesting. I just enjoying watching it, and I just sit back and watch every other content creators making their stuff on it. But I'm like, I will not make anything on this one. I'll just be an audience member and be happy. It's just too much work, really, at times. So yeah, and also if I get this like launched, I definitely will make more videos on my second channel about how to make them. And let people know just how insane it is. When I first got interested in this thing, I researched and watched people making it and learn it, and then I was like, hey, it doesn't look too complicated. And then I tried it, and I'm like, it's like F word flying in my head. It's like, this is too crazy. Oh my god, why is this so hard? Okay. The funny thing about, like, if you watch Yanxi Palace, if you watch a lot of Qing Dynasty drama, the real thing about that empress played by Qin Lan, which is true, recorded in history, which is, she is very like the role model, moral, perfect person who says, doesn't wanna go too extravagant, doesn't wanna waste too much money as the empress, and wanna contribute to the treasury and stuff. So she the recorded history said she advocates for all the women of the inner court to not wear very expensive jewelries and to give the money to armies and troops. Instead, she advocates to wear 通草绒花为饰, which is 2 types of hair ornament. One is made from a type of paper called 通草花, which is also very interesting. I haven't started venturing into making that yet because taking one thing at a time. 绒花 is this. And it basically is a velvet type of flower. And she says, let's just use paper and velvet flower to as hair ornaments and stuff instead of using pearls, jade, all those expensive expensive gemstones and stuff. So that's recorded in Chinese history of what the empress said. So in the drama, you see pretty much all the women, their hair ornaments are this. But on one hand, it really is not that expensive because of the material. On the other, man hour. Okay, so you're gonna get man hour. It's also costly, but I guess in imperial time, servants and slaves' time do not mean anything. Their life is expendable. You can literally buy human and sell humans. So their hours does not count. It's only the material that's used, gold, jade, whatever on their head that's expensive. Now we just change that into paper and silk. Doesn't mean, it doesn't mean it's actually easier to do because you need human to sit down and make it. But it will be cheaper because human hour back then doesn't mean anything. And people are slaves, but gold actually has value, right? So that saves money for the in-the-court expenditure. Okay, makes sense. But doesn't mean it doesn't cost. It costs people's lives to make these things. It's so time-consuming. Oh my god. Funny thing about history. Flight to You, no, but it's finished. And they have recently been promoting, so it could happen soon. I don't know. I've seen promotion this week. The Wang Kaian Tan Songyun drama, right? The pilot one. Let's hope the pilot part is good. Let's hope it's actually filmed in a realistic enough cockpit and makes sense. And I'm pretty sure if it's good enough, there will be a couple of content creators on China that I follow who are actually real pilots. And they make videos about flights and then things about planes and very interesting topics. A couple of really interesting content creator. If that drama is good enough, depicting the details of flights and then pilot story, I can see that they make videos commenting on that. That would be very interesting. I hope that happens. I hope it's good. Last 10. Do you mean the director, Thomas? Like the director of Murderous Affair, who is also the director of Delicious Romance? Chase Light. No news. Oh, news about Chase Light is it finished their editing. Nothing else. It may show up, it may never show up. Who knows? Yes, I think Chen Zhengdao is really interesting. Because he can make really interesting projects, but then he can make really crappy ones too. And you don't know what made him do really crappy stuff and then do good stuff. I think he has a really good understanding of storytelling pacing, how to make a story engaging. But then for the really crappy projects that involved him, I'm guessing either he didn't have full say about things, therefore it ended up like that. Or, people can slip. I don't know. Chen Zhengdao, he has really weird stuff. Like some of the film, like I think he did a film that's just like really recently, but his dramas, Murderous Affair and Delicious Romance, are both very good. And you can tell like he has a good idea about how to pace storytelling, how to make it engaging. So overall, I think he's still one of the better directors out there. At least the directors who can be remembered on their own as a director. Instead of, there are a lot of directors in Dramaland who basically are just like a thing to be there, and then it can be replaced by any other director. Wouldn't make a difference type of director, and they will never make their name known. Particularly for those platform-owned projects, like a lot of Tianchong, Sweet and Spoil romantic dramas from Tencent, they hire directors who are just like nameless, who just in there for like doing a job and then get money and get out and get it done. But Chen Zhengdao, at least he is like one of the persons out there who is known to be a director, a known name as a director. 沉睡花园, yes, I did. It's gonna end very soon. Like I said, it has become a romantic drama halfway. Scriptwriters and directors, maybe you can do a series. Yeah, that'll be interesting. And I need to research a lot of people. Also, just because there are a lot of people's stories are, well, let's say, you can't always find the right information about them. A lot of that would be legend floating in the air type of thing. The older they are, it's harder to make sure that you know what has been claimed about them really is true or false. Yeah, a new season of Ancient Detective, who doesn't? The writer has been involved in a new project, but in terms of the second season of this one, at least he hasn't said anything yet. Because I follow him on social media. He hasn't said anything yet about the second season of it. But I do think like he intends it to happen. One second. Okay, I need to do something. Weird things. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna be here for 5 minutes more, and I'll be off. And then Sunday would be Chinese New Year's Eve, and then Monday would be Chinese New Year. Honestly, properly, for real. I am too early to do this, but January. It just cuts on the January threshold. What can we say, hey? What do you feel about state of costuming? In recent years, it's getting better. It's definitely better than than sometimes. Like say back in early 2000s, but it still has a lot to do. Improvement. Also, it's very production specific and period specific. Now you see a lot of Tang Dynasty drama starting to do better after Chang'an 12时辰. But then they also just don't, like, sometimes costume designers are so, like, they still want to put their own injections in there. They still make things that look a little bit weird. They add too much that's just weird, basically. Then Song Dynasty hasn't been made very well, apart from Qin Pingyue, and Qin Pingyue did the ceremonial official stuff very well. accurate to history, but then daily life stuff has also a lot of elements that's really not from history. Ming Dynasty currently is one of the problematic time because although there have been a couple of productions try to do it more like Ming Dynasty, but then again they add too much of their own flair and inaccuracy to it. And then some of them, for example, 玉楼春, Youth, Song of Youth, some parts of it is so well done, but then you have other parts that's totally wrong. And it just never get a perfect one, which is like pretty much everything is good. You're still yet waiting for it. Maybe 长安十二时辰 got closest to being overall reasonable enough to history, only costume-wise. But if you want to scrutinize, there are always things you can pick out. It's like not super accurate, but okay, good enough, like I can accept it. Long way to go, basically. What else? Delicious romance. Delicious romance. Okay, I can go back and check it. Like I said, I can't do it now, but I do think I have all the videos with subs, unless it has glitch. I'll check it later. Okay, what else? 2 minutes more. Let's see if there's any more. Zhang Ruoyun and Liu Haoran, that would be cool. Oh, the pearl makeup. I can do that and just stick it on. I wonder how it will feel like when you talk. When you have like pearls here. It probably will be very weird. You're so late. Hi, late person. Well, I'm gonna go, but hey, you know, at least you called the last second. Sell drama sets and wardrobes after productions? Not sure, depending on. Like one production company, they may have a warehouse. If they make it, spend the money making, and they keep it in a warehouse, and for future dramas, they can take out certain things and then, you know, mix and match. That totally can happen. Usually, previously for films, it's the film production, state-owned film production studio who have their own warehouse that will keep the stuff there. Certain dramas, they will sell it later, auction it off, like certain dramas did. Really depends on individual cases, yeah. And a lot of things can get repurposed, really, right? Particularly like the hair thing, you know, you can just take a part of this and match it with another thing and put it on another person's head in another drama. Light on series season. This year, who knows? This year, let's hope it can do better. Last year, pretty light on is pretty disappointing. Thank you. How do I pronounce that? RYU. It's like escaping my head. But anyway, thank you for saying that. And I'm gonna be off. Still gonna be here for Saturday news and then just normal stuff for next week, but it will be Chinese New Year. Let's see how bad the gala and the variety show is gonna be. If it's super bad, maybe I can make a rant video about it, but hey, who knows? Who knows? We'll see. So, to say an early happy Year of the Tiger to everyone. Hope everybody would be as pretty, as powerful as a tiger in this year. Okay, take care. And then for the 3 people, I think one of you have already emailed me, so email me. Okay, take care.